If you people that have known the Lord for a long time, if you want to be motivated, spend some time with these new Christians. Now, Audi is a remarkable story, one of the most remarkable conversions I've ever seen. She loves Jesus with all her heart. Audi has a tremendous testimony. Everybody's so different, but Audi, you share what Jesus has done for you.
Thank you everyone for being here. So before July 16th when I got saved, I was of the secular world very much. I walked in a lot of darkness. I was 2 pounds 14 ounces when I was born. I grew up in a very broken home. I had an absent father until the age of 6. I didn't know who he was. And then through my childhood, I went through a lot of sexual abuse, physical and mental abuse. So it was hard for me to understand the concept of love. I then grew up in addiction. I started addiction at 12 years old, and it just demolished my life because I was just scared and I wanted to die. I was addicted to suicide my whole life up until this year. And I just didn't want to be here. I went to jail and prison from 21 to 23. I was in and out of mental hospitals from 7 to 21. I just institutionalized, depressed, PTSD, all the mental illnesses you could ever fathom. That's what I was. I just walked in darkness. And last year I woke up. God woke me up. He said, I love you. Stop doing this. Everything's going to be okay. Just repeatedly. I hit rock bottom really bad last year. I was always on rock bottom. But last year was my rock bottom to the T. And it's just like, God, just let me die. Why do I have to be here? I can't handle this trauma anymore. But unfortunately, he didn't. But fortunately, he did. He didn't, because now I'm here speaking this to you guys. And this year, I was traveling across to Colorado on a spiritual journey, I'd say. And something in me wanted to surrender. I was like, God, all right, I'm done. I threw my hands up and I was like, you take over because I can't do this anymore. If you're real, then here I am. Sure enough, he started taking over. All my trauma induced from my life, I was in the LGBT, and I was with a woman most of my life because I didn't trust men, but not every man's like that, thank God. And divinity is man and woman, so we can't live that life. So I was with a woman, we went to Colorado, and I just went through all kinds of stuff. We stayed in a freezing cold car for 2.5 months. We came home, and our connections separated. We broke up. I was living in a tent on Ohio Street in the end of June, and then Shannon Severance, my spiritual brother, he had a room, and he offered me a room, thankfully. And I stayed with him, and then I was like, I'm missing something. So I was reading my Bible, praying, but I needed more. So he came to Charleston, and I'm like, well, if he comes, he's changed, so it must be something different. Because I grew up in churches, and a lot of churches are just very judgmental, as everyone knows, just very religious. And this church just brought a new hope, just opened my eyes to something totally different. You guys have shown the love and the compassion that we all need and deserve. And it awakened me to such a peace I never experienced before. And then July 16th, I came July 9th, July 16th comes, and I came down to altar call that evening, and Pastor Jake was preaching. And then my hand went up supernaturally over there, and I'm like, oh, guess it's time to get saved. And I was like, okay, cool. So then I got saved, and then July 30th comes, Evangelist Wesley comes, and I get slammed in the spirit, and evidence of speaking in tongues. And I've just never, ever since then, I've just found this love inside of me. I love souls. I used to hate everybody. I hate everything before July 16th. Just why? And now I'm like, I love people. I understand what's going on. It's our souls that are at stake. We need to understand that the people that are doing these things aren't of them. It's of their souls, and they're being attacked every day. We need to love them and be compassionate and have, just be like Jesus. Just be like Jesus. And I just want to say one more thing, that, these classes, I just thought they were classes. I'm like, okay, cool. But people do take their time out to teach these classes and show us this compassion and care to just show us a new way of life, and give us the structure, and just understand the Bible a little better, and understand that every soul of Christ is the same, but everybody's different. And Dalton, I appreciate you so much for doing this ministry. It's awesome. And yeah, so basically, I felt like the girl lived for 12 years, Mark 25, and something happened, and I just grabbed a hold of Jesus' clothes supernaturally. And just like he says in Mark 5:34, he told her, "Daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace and go in peace from." Oh, my legs up, sorry. Go in peace and be free from all your suffering. And it's like that can be for men too. Everybody can go in peace with Jesus Christ in there. We don't need to live in oppression. We don't need to live in depression. We don't need to live in anything. The void is filled. Nothing matters anymore. And once you're of the kingdom, you get out of the secular world, stop consuming this music, all this stuff, the spiritual tsunami will come through and flip your whole world upside down. You'll lose people. You'll lose everything. But once you push through, rely on Him, get in the Word, come to church, be around people that love you and Jesus, your whole world will get flipped upside down, but you will be placed on solid ground. And I just want you all know. Like Psalms 23 says, we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, but we fear no evil. For He is with us. He gives us the spiritual weapons to defeat everything the enemy has to come at us. And no matter what, He loves you all. So just grab a hold of His clothes and don't let go. Because this path of the kingdom is straight and narrow, and it keeps getting narrower. Don't let go. I promise it'll be the best decision you've ever made. I appreciate you all, and I love you all just as Jesus does.
Audi, how long ago was it you first came here? July 9th. If you'd have seen Audi prior to July, you would have had no hopes for her. But Jesus Christ changes lives. And she's one of the biggest miracles I've ever seen. I know her really, really well. I've talked to her many hours. I call her my spiritual granddaughter. And anyway, we love her, and she's going to go to Bible college in January. And you're going to be hearing a lot from how God's going to use her. We look at people that are really strung out on many, many things, and we would never have any hopes for them. But I have to tell you, this lady is a different person, inside out, and we praise God.